We just talked with John Summerall about really how the tone was set in the second half of this game, specifically by the run game, and you guys really exemplifying what I think he wants out of that blue collar mentality. That's something we talked about back at Media Day in July. How do you feel like that side or that identity has really come together and really showed off in that game?
I'll go back to the game aspect of it. The first half of the game, I think we came out a little flat. When we went into halftime, we made a few adjustments, and we came out. And I think in the second half, we clicked a little bit better. Rice definitely came out. They were definitely a respectable opponent. They played, I think, harder than maybe some was expected. And I think, you talk about the blue-collar mindset. The blue-collar mindset is definitely coming out. Guys are working. Guys are up here every day in the morning and the afternoon, doing extra time, doing extra things to prepare. And, I think it's coming out at the right time right now, to be honest.
The quarterback competition, you play such an important role in that. Darian Mensah was someone that you probably didn't have that much time on task with going into this year. How have you guys really worked on that relationship, and what has it really been like having him as your quarterback?
So what's really crazy is when I came in the springtime, Darren, we spent a lot of time actually in the film room. We didn't get a lot of reps together in spring, but being a young player, when I'd always come up and watch film, he'd always be up here and he'd always ask me questions. When we looked at him, we always thought he'd be a guy that was definitely going to be the face of the program probably later on. And, he came out of camp and he did great things, and obviously, as you see now, he's our starter. But the communication aspect between me and him is really great. I'd probably say he's probably my close friends. On and off the field, we talk all the time. And I'm always trying to make sure, especially on the field with the other five guys around me, making sure he's the most comfortable as well.
Even good defenses struggle to contain North Texas's offense. This is a game where the offense is your offense is going to have to probably be on point. How much do you kind of look forward to a game like that where you have a chance maybe to just control the clock and stay on the field?
This is an exciting game. Both teams are both 5-2. We just said at practice, this is a championship game. I think we're both two good, respectable opponents going against each other, and we have a good game plan going in. Our defense, they have a good game plan going as well. I think we're just going to go out there, we're going to execute, we're going to do our job, and we're going to go one play at a time, to be honest.
Depth is such an important thing, especially on the offensive line. Tulane kind of learned that the hard way last year with a lot of injuries. Caleb Thomas has also been someone that's been really important, but you being the center and having guys kind of change around at guard, how do you kind of deal with that different change in the middle of games at that?
To be honest with you, nothing changes. I don't really make it a big deal or a big impact. All the guys I have around me, I look at them all the same, and an impact that they make. The one thing that we just tell ourselves is know your job, know what you got to do. Don't make the game too harder than it needs to be. Even when Caleb goes in there, Caleb does a great job. He goes in there, and sometimes in the heat of the moment, he executes at a high level, and the flow doesn't change, our tempo doesn't change, and we're still moving as a heartbeat as one. So it's pretty good.
Anything in the second half, was it something that you guys looked at and made some adjustments on the line? Was it just Mekhi Hughes all of a sudden really just breaking through, or what can you really point to as the big change coming out of halftime?
I think it was just communication. Going into them, they were kind of moving around a little bit, and we were just making sure that we had the right points, guys were going the right direction. We won the second half. We kind of died down a little bit, just pulled it back, and we just went out there and executed.
Like you learned about yourself in that game compared to, the dominating wins I think are fun. You get backup guys to play experience, but having kind of a dogfight like that, what do you kind of feel like you guys learned about yourselves?
You learn who wants to be in those battles. I've always been taught, adversity equals motivation. And, definitely in that second half, going that fourth quarter when things are kind of getting tight, guys are motivated, guys are ready to step up and play, and guys that were out there were executing at a high level on offense and defensive both. But it's like I said, you kind of get to see who's in the heat of the battle at that moment, who's rising, who's not.